I'm Josh, and today on the channel we have this special guest star.
Yep, Skunk Trapper Joe. Hey, that's the video today. We're going to show you how to trap skunks. We trap a ton of skunks. Last year I think we trapped 13 skunks. Let's get started. Okay, it's not something we do for fun. We live out in the country and we have chickens, and the skunks will kill the chickens and spray the dogs, so we have to. First trap. Got this trap for free. If you can, don't use this type of trap, this big huge one. They can spray very easily. It's very, very hard to release them. If you're going to try and release them alive, you have to hold this down and lift this up and hold this up all while there's a live skunk in there, which can be very challenging. Second trap. Alright, this is the first trap we had. It does work. However, quite often it will get set off and the skunk will get out. Let me show you how. So to set this trap, it's super easy to set actually. Okay, so it's set. And what will happen is the skunk will go in, and you've got this little plate right here, and when the skunk steps on this plate, I'm just going to kind of teeter it with my finger. Boom. Okay, the trap goes off, the doors fall, and the skunk should be trapped inside. It's a very small area, which is ideal because you don't want the skunk to be able to lift its tail and spray. But what happens, Josh?
The skunk's tail will get caught right here, and the way it's designed, these bars, like, there's nothing to just like push the tail out of the way or to keep it down, except for the bars, and that's just gravity. So like, if it's like this, the skunk can just run right out.
Yep. If we've had skunks big enough, this trap would not work. We had to use the big one. Okay? Last trap. This is my fave. Okay, this is the last trap that we bought, and this, you have just a little bit more room inside for the skunk, and it's super easy to set. You just flick the handle and the trap is set. Skunk comes in, hits the pad, boom, and trap is sprung. We have had one skunk that was big enough that he got out of this, and we had to use the biggest trap. But we have caught more skunks with this trap than the other two combined. Easily. This is our go-to if you're going to release the skunks into the wild, which we have done. If I don't mind doing. If they're not rabid, they seem healthy, and I have time, I don't need to rush into work that morning, I'll drive them out in the middle of nowhere, and I'll just grab a big heavy rock or brick, and I will flick this handle back and set the rock or whatever on top of the handle. Otherwise they will re-spring the trap when they try to get out. And you give them a minute and they will just walk right out. Some will burst right out the second you start to open the door. Others will sit there for a minute or so, then they'll walk out. So if you're going to shoot them, let them get out of the trap and then shoot them. I have shot them in the trap. I had one that was rabid, wouldn't get out of the trap, and I shot it in the trap, and it stinks. It's nasty.
Also, there's a missing bar right there, because that's where the bullet hit.
That's the rabid skunk. As far as bait, you can see the bait that we have in here. I think you can see that. The best bait. Peanut butter and jelly on a piece of bread. It works great. You don't attract cats. If you have no cats in the area you're trapping, use chicken. Just chicken meat. It works awesome. So let's set this trap and see what happens. About a week ago our dogs got sprayed, and then we've noticed skunk smell a few times since. We've noticed it stinks really bad under the shed. Do you want to show under that? This is bad on our part. That's pretty much an invitation for a skunk, and we think that he's under there. So we're going to set this trap up right here on a nice solid spot, nice, flat spot, and we'll see what happens. Alright, looks like we got one. So set the trap out last night, and this little guy was in it this morning. Normally I like to do this part before, but I didn't, so you have to get them covered up. Once you get them covered up, they usually won't spray unless they're rabid or you do something really bad with the cage. So I've got just a big heavy sheet here, and I'm going to use that kind of like as a protection for one thing, so if it does spray I can kind of block the spray, but also to try and get the trap covered up. So skunks are all covered. Now I should be able to just grab the trap. We're